the state of the industry is it's definitely in a very tricky phase. It is in its infancy, and every level of the industry is learning how their part of the business works. So what this has resulted in is in a really heavy hit on stock prices of standard and licensed producers, people in the industry. The stocks have been hit hard. So that's not, that's common public knowledge. And then you got to kind of look at the underlying reasons why. And the regulatory rollout has been full of a lot of hiccups. And I'm not blaming Health Canada. I'm not saying anybody's actually to blame for that, because when you're rolling out a new program, the only way to do it is to make it as strict as possible, because you can ease those restrictions back. It's very difficult to start loose and then start adding restrictions into an area that you're supposed to be deregulating or decriminalizing. So that's been one definite issue that's kind of held the industry back. But I know that on October 20th of 2018, there were municipal elections throughout the province. Legalization was October 17th of 2018. You have legalization coinciding with municipal elections, which ultimately means that no decisions are going to be made in the 6 months prior, because people don't want to put their neck out on anything. They don't want to say, okay, we're going to allow cannabis cultivation in this zone, or we're going to allow it on ALR land, or they don't want to do anything that's going to risk their political future. So that definitely didn't help in this province, where we should be a leader in the industry. We're playing catch up right now. And every municipality is still kind of very slow to the game, and that's causing some problems. Look at Nanaimo, for example. They got their first dispensary 2 weeks ago. It's November of 2019, right? Like, how many liquor stores are there in Nanaimo? So the distribution points are critical to the industry's overall success. And if you can't access product legally, you're just gonna go and get it off the illicit market, and there's plenty of avenues to do that. That's one of the biggest problems with the legalized framework right now, is access to legal cannabis, and really access to properly priced, quality grown cannabis. Until you get legalization to make sense for people, this is what we're gonna face. Really, what's the incentive for somebody making $1 million a year in the illicit market to come over to the legal market, make the same amount of money, yet incur a tremendous amount of regulation, headaches, red tape, taxation, all of these things that should really be an incentive, because you should want to be able to earn an income that you can declare. You should be able to want to earn income that you can help go get a mortgage with. You should be able to want to do anything, but the incentive to do that really is kind of not really there. The future of cannabis is bright. I really genuinely believe that. I believe that in 2 to 5 years' time, cannabis sales will exceed alcohol sales. There are some things that have to happen in order for us to get to that point where cannabis has to have the access it needs. It has to kind of lose that stigmatism a bit of being a drug, right? It's no more a drug today than alcohol is. And I think that's kind of where people as our society needs to sort of get to, right? There's a strong proportion of our society that's been there the whole time, until it's more mainstream, and there's more cafes where you can go have a coffee and a joint or something like that. Right now it's still kind of taboo, isn't it? Right? Like, you go into a government dispensary and all you've got is a bunch of white plastic jars with tiny little labels on it. It just seems kind of cold to me, and I think until we get to that stage where cannabis is just another, bottle of beer or fine wine or whatever. Like, until we get to that stage of social acceptability, that's where we want to be, and that's where I think we'll be in 5 years. I think globally, you're looking at, there's a real change in current, a change in opinion. I think at the day the Americans actually nationally legalize cannabis will be a really big day for everybody, and I don't see that day being that far down the future. I mean, 5 years ago, probably wouldn't have really thought legalization in Canada was realistic, right? But here we are.